Some things never seem to change, it's just the way it is. Like getting telephone calls from people in Johto. I need to delete you. It's like one of them girls just keep calling you all day. Can't get off you can't. That ringer's gonna keep buzzing. They're gonna keep hollering at you. You just gotta keep ignoring them. So we're gonna go back in here. Apparently, oh no, I see now. The girl who lost the Pokédoll is sad. Oh, could you take this Pokédoll back to the little girl? I'll befriend the real Clefairy. Alright, so you do have to talk to him. I just didn't trigger it first by going to talk to her about that issue previously. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna head to Diglett's cave. Almost forgot, I was taking notes as to where I was, and I was forgetting that I hadn't even gone to Diglett's cave yet. Last part we did catch Snorlax, which was pretty sick. So this guy is gonna meet you right away. Diglett's cave here in Generation 2 is a little bit smaller than Generation 1. Diglett's 90% occurrence rate, Dugtrio's 10% occurrence rate. That's all day. Wow, what are the chances for running into a Dugtrio right away? But so we will be catching a Diglett at some point. Probably not now, but we're just gonna keep moving on. Maybe if I do see one, I'll throw a Pokeball out at it. And there's a couple hidden items you can get in here as well. Get through there, and the interesting thing about Diglett's cave is that it is absolutely necessary, regardless of the generation you're playing in, to go through it. So if you're playing first, second, what's considered, I suppose, the third with leaf green and fire red, well, apparently this is a lonely dude, so he's gonna give you a nugget. You can get nuggets and one other item here on this, the nugget and the Carbos, so decent items here. I'm gonna go sell this sucker. You need cut to go down there and to do those other adventures and whatnot. I don't think I need cut to get to Pewter. Yes, you do. Well, that's a buzzkill. Nobody told me that. I guess we're flying back to Vermilion City. I don't even have the Pokemon in my team. Did I not even go back to get Sunflora out of there? Am I spacing out? Well, it doesn't matter because I need Paris anyways to cut. Frick. So maybe this time I do catch that that bad boy, that Diglett. Diglett. Yep, I got my Paris in here. I had to switch back to box 5. Good lord. Corsola, water rock type. Very cool Pokemon, but pretty useless. So pretty much all of our errands taken care of right now. We can get the Magnet Train Pass though, which I will be doing. And Pewter City would be a fun time to explore, and of course, Brock Squared. My name's Brock. His name's Brock. His is all caps though, I believe, so it's a little bit more intimidating, I suppose, right? Does that give him more status, more power? The fact that he's all caps? I don't know. Does it? Occurrence rate must be pretty low here in Diglett's cave, because I am not running to nothing. But this is an interesting route. This is Route 2. You can also get Pikachus here. I think it's one of the only places in the entire game that you can get Pikachus is level 4, 5% occurrence rate, and also Ladian, level 7, 5% occurrence rate in the morning. And there are 10 total items on this route. If you walk in tall grass and shorts, so I'm talking about shorts again. Bleh. Talking about shorts. What is bug catchers and campers and this fixation on shorts here in Kanto? And bug flying, we're gonna pull out a little. Well, screw it. I don't even care at this point. So over leveled with you, B-drill. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I jumped the gun. Very weak dark type move. Won't do the trick against me, don't you know? B-drill. So I will get Sunflora out when I'm about to take down Brock. He's got one trainer in there. And then after we do that, there's just some exploring to do. It's kind of weird. You get to go through Mount Moon and through those routes that lead to Mount Moon that you typically are at. It's like a standard part expected and required. That's a bug type move in case you were wondering in Generation 1. But in this game, it's really not even that. It's not needed almost. You do get to face Silver over there. He will fight you. It's think, the first time in Kanto that you end up facing him. For being all honest, bringing out all honesty right now. First time inaugural Steel Wing use. It's all over, Beedrill. But you can go over there, you can get some items, you can explore a little bit, get a Clefairy. Not that I'm really interested in getting a Clefairy or a Clefable. We'll walk around here real quick, see if I do see a Pikachu. I remember wanting to catch a Pikachu so bad. Whether I was in Viridian City or coming to Pewter City or here in 2nd Gen. Pikachu sprite and colors is nice. It's nice here. They did it well. So that gives you a little hint. We'll talk about that in a little bit when we go over to Mount Moon. We'll visit around the area a little bit. So Pewter City's kind of died a little bit, as of every Kanto town, quite frankly. Its population is down to only 18 now. And there's this Pikachu, or Jigglypuff was a very kind of essential character in early stages of the anime, I do remember. Just using Sing and people are falling asleep. Deposits, but part of the reason is because the Pewter Museum of Science is closed, as pretty much everything else here in Kanto. It's closed, and so the population has dropped, I believe, 10 from 28 in Generation 1. It's the lowest of any of the 4 games, so Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Fire Red, Leaf Green as well. This is where the guy with the rainbow wing, I was calling it gold wing earlier, the rainbow wing or the silver wing, depending on what version you're playing, will show up, I believe. Or is this guy? Nope, so you don't, okay, he's actually over here. For some reason I thought he was in that little section right there. So you get rainbow wing, and that's going to allow you to go to the Tin Tower and get access to Ho-Oh, which is going to be level 70. Real amped up here in the 2nd generation if you're playing silver. Continue to visit our friends around the area. That was a useless visit. Goodness, what the frick? This freaking dog training is Nidoran or Nidorino, whatever it was. But we can walk into the Pewter Museum of Science. I'm trying to see where the entrance is. Is it over there? Looks like it's on the back side. You can visit it, but there's really nothing that goes on in the museum, from my recollection. Yeah, so we're just gonna ignore that right now, and instead, I'm gonna take my talents to Pewter City Gym to face my counterpart, Broccoli. I'm gonna swap out for Sunflora. Down on the bottom, switcheroo. Switcheroo. Let's see what he says about me. Yeah, duh. Like, am I just skipping the gyms as I go? I mean, I suppose you can do that. There's essentially no requirement on fighting a gym first, because it doesn't open up use of other HMs, so you can kind of go wherever you want, explore it all, get to all the cities, and then I suppose you could. What would be pretty fun is a Kanto gym leader run where you do not use a Pokemon Center. And you just go from gym to gym to gym. Maybe you have some items, but you go gym to gym to gym, and you see how far you can make it. Hey, sounds fun to me. Maybe I should have done that strategy. A little bit too late now, obviously. You can't go back and reface them. But Sunflora doing work on this Sand Slash. But going over this gym, there is one trainer in here. As you remember, he does have a Sandshrew in the original in 1st generation. I believe that is actually it. Yeah, Brock's going to kick you out. You just got fired. I know how it works. It's not often that you also face another Brock. So he's technically an expert on Rock type. The thing is, there's not a lot of Pokemon that are solely Rock type. You got Sudowoodo that is coming to me right off the bat right there. I think... No, I was going to say Larvitar for a second, but it is not. Rock Ground right here. Most of them are predominantly Rock Ground. But I'm going to use Mega Drain. And he's going to throw you a level 41 Graveler, a level 41 Rhyhorn, level 42 Omastar, which is kind of surprising, but it does need a rock type. So, and in effect, that does make a little bit sense. Level 42 Kabutops, which is kind of, I mean, I suppose those are kind of cool that he has those Pokemon. I think they're trying to tie in the Pewter Museum of Science thing there by having those two Pokemon be used, because obviously those fossils are attainable, and their evolved form of the fossils would lead to those Pokemon. Helix Fossil and Dome Fossil, if you remember from the first generation. So his remaining 3, and then of course after the Kabutops, his classic, his Onix. Brock would not be Brock without his Onix. He does have a Zubat, and does have that Vulpix too, which you don't really see mentioned at all. It would be kind of cool if he had a Vulpix out here. I think that would be a fun reference to the anime. But obviously Pokemon Yellow kind of did that totally direct reference to animes for us, not having to worry about that as much here. So this is going to be nice for us. 4-time effectiveness against this Kabutops. Kabutops is a pretty dope Pokemon in my eyes. I'm going to use... Oh, you get a little quick. Kabutops is speedy. I'm going to use a little pedal dance. You know, being fossilized for so long didn't take away the speed. That speed's still there. He's not calcified yet. He's all stretched out, ready to go, raring to go. Down goes our Kabutops. Halfway to 60. And the last guy is going to be Almastar as well. Epic ancient Pokemon Almastar. Kipowie! So that's going to don you the Boulder Badge, and it's going to give you a slight attack bonus. Obviously, rock types are physical type moves, not a special type. I'm surprised Brock's just wearing good old khakis and a t-shirt here. I don't know. I guess that's what he does in the game, or the anime as well. So you're going to get the Boulder Badge now. That's badge number 14. Apparently, even though I'm a bit upset. So you're going to get that. What he means by a little bit more powerful essentially means your attack's going to go up slightly. So I don't really need to. What was I saying? I don't really need to heal up. That's what I was looking for. I don't need to heal up, so I can just start heading east. You could. I think you might need cut. I'm trying to remember right now. Nope, it's all open up for you, so you can just head through here. This is Route 3. There are 4 trainers here on Route 3. No new Pokemon. Or is this the Comfy Shorts guy? There's a lot of routes hidden in these mountains a little bit. What is with these? What are with the comments that some of these guys make? Youngster Warren? Many people named Warren as their first name nowadays. I don't know. I don't know what to think of the comments that some of these people make in Kanto. I don't know if they felt left out. Things moved on to Johto. It was so successful. We thought it was ending here. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know what to make of these comments. They're not productive. They're not leading to anything. They're not relevant. You can't go into a situation and know you're going to lose like that, my friend. You're a youngster. You got a lot to learn. That's my advice for you. So once we get through Route 3, we're going to be heading to Mount Moon. Just taking care of a couple quick errands there. And then you can head south to Viridian City. The first badge you're going to get is, or the next one, the other remaining 2, is not actually going to be from Viridian City. We're going to go to Cinnabar first, check out that island, one of my favorite locations in Pokemon genre, Pokemon games, definitely first generation at least. We'll be taking him out in Blaine, and then we're going to go back to Viridian City and deal with that. A cool part about Viridian City, there's also a little area. Why did I do that? There's also a little area that you can go into, and you can train against this guy named Cal, and he has a Typhlosion, a Meganium, and a Feraligatr all at level 50, which I always thought was really cool when I first played through this game. I kind of envied that, and I wish that was my team. But you can face him, get a few extra points. But I believe if you were to play on a Game Boy, and whoever you face last on a link cable is the one you'd be facing in there. I think for sure in Crystal that's the case. So I did face one of my friends a number of times on the link cable, and I would routinely face him following that. So there are no new Pokemon here on this route. We'll see what this one is. But you know, another thing too, I was kind of talking about that with the gym leaders. I wish the levels of Pokemon this late in the game as well in the wild were higher. I mean, wouldn't it make sense? I mean, it's not like you can access this any other way, but I think part of that is they don't want to throw off the storyline, suppose. Like, they don't want it to seem incongruent, like all of a sudden these guys are over leveled and whatnot and things aren't matching up. This is not the best matchup for me right now, so I'm going to just use Sludge Bomb, try to get through this Magmar right here, get my guy up to level 60, and then I'm going to dish out, I'm going to get Feraligatr to level 60 as well. He's been hanging out there ready to bump up a level. So I suppose there's some logic in that, but then again, the gym leaders did increase their levels, so they did go up, and that, you know, whatever. I'm not going to question it any more than that. So once you get to Mount Moon, gotta get this wheezing out of the way first. Better not use Smog or any of that trash on me. I did teach it Dig. I don't know if you guys knew that, so I got a variety of moves now. Probably should have used Dig right there, but I didn't want to wait another turn. Didn't have to. You can get your old Clefairy's 5% occurrence rate. Otis Spunkmeyer cookies is what he's making me think of. Fire Breather Otis. Fall right in my hands. I have a reason to use Hydro Pump now. First time, the inaugural time. Down goes one of my faves. Otis Spunkmeyer cookies. Just like those grandma cookies or whatever that you could buy. Some of them softest cookies that are not homemade, or you know, something like that you just buy in a package. Those are the type of cookies that you would buy. Famous Amos, no, the ones you would buy like near a cash register. Most items, most food that you buy in those situations really are not that good. But I remember back in the day getting some hot lunch at school, and those were the bomb diggity. Those are some big cookies too. They did not skimp out at all. Big time. I'm trying to, you know, once you get older, I'm at 22, I try to care about what I eat, you know, and watch that. So I can't say I had one since I was maybe like 11, but I'm gonna have hot lunch pizza days. Get some Otis Spunkmeyer in me. Big old Otis Spunkmeyer double chocolate snickerdoodle. Thanks for not poisoning me right now. Hopefully I'm making you nice and hungry, YouTubes. Ice does the trick. Ice does the trick. Yeah, so I had a freaking scary moment at the gym. I was working out at the gym doing a little incline dumbbell action. There's a Slugma in case you're running what the Sprite would look like in silver. And apparently I put the bench back, but I didn't have the pin stick into that hole to keep it locked in place far enough, but it was like partially in there, so I did lean back one time and like jolt back, and the bench went freaking flat, and all my weight was going back as well, and so that just dragged my arm back with the weight, and thankfully my shoulder like stayed in place. I could have seen myself like dislocating my shoulder. So that's what happens sometimes when you lift weights. There always is that element where you could get injured, but just got to be relatively smart. And who is this guy? It's been a while, Brock. Since I lost to you, I thought about what I was lacking with my Pokemon, and we came up with an answer. Brock, now we'll show you. So I'm not sure really what his path is. This is one of, again, my issues with the rival. He doesn't give any information right here as to whether or not he faced the Elite Four. I'm thinking he did. I'm not completely sure, but I think he did face the Elite Four, maybe. I don't see how he could have gotten through him, really. I don't know why I'm using Dig. It's freaking Ice type. Probably should have used Surf, I suppose. But you don't really know that much about this guy. I mean, he just kind of appears. He's not a friend, really. He's just kind of a random dude that initially was peering into Professor Elm's lab, just being nosy. And he decides to steal a Pokemon, and from then he becomes your rival. I mean, there's no background on him. I think that's one of the reasons the story is so successful, because in the first generation, they're building a franchise. They're building rapport with people, and so forth. And this is why Dig would be nice right here at this Exhibit A. But they needed a strong storyline. They needed people to want to come back and to be gripped by it as the game went on. And I mean, at this point, not that I'm saying they didn't want to continue that, and that's definitely not the case, because they have for another 16 years. But there's no relevancy to anything that he's doing, and so I don't know. I don't feel a jolt of energy at all when I would face him. So Alright, Magmar's 60. Let's put out Pillow-Swine and get you up. This would be a good Pokemon to pull you out for. Ganium, he's doing decent. I do like his Pokemons. The Pokemon that he does have, though. I'm not gonna lie, I do like that. But Meganium, of course, is very slow, even though Pillow-Swine is not fast either. And not all the way. Phew! Happy about that miss. So once you face him, you get rid of get rid of Gold, whatever you named him. Beautiful, level 58. You can move on through Mount Moon. I'm not sure there's how many there are. But what's interesting about Mount Moon is it says once comprised of a large cave network, recent collapses have left only a single chamber connecting Route 3 and 4. So, I mean, like, it's almost like they're copying out. It's like they don't want to continue developing new add-ons. Why did I use Blizzard? I did not freaking use. I forgot to use Earthquake. It's like a cop out for adding on additional aspects to. Okay, I'm fine with that. Wouldn't have probably done that much anyways. Like they don't want to add on to Mount Moon. Understandable. I don't think a lot of characters want to just be lingering around. Maybe they think they're getting a little bit tired of Kanto at this point. And this game is long for a Pokemon game. For another type of game, even some RPGs, you know, turn-based strategy RPGs like you know, Fire Emblem, they do go on quite a bit. So it's not like I remember playing this and being like, okay, get over, finish. Like, you're always discovering new things. You're always seeing what old things look like. And one of the most engaging things in life is seeing, when time goes on, what things you knew from previously have changed, how they've improved, how they've gotten worse. There's a nostalgic factor, but there's also like an ownership factor. You just kind of want to see how life progresses. And that can be said for people, it can be said for places, and any sort of thing like that. So Icy Wind should be able to finish him off now. And that does it. So down goes Gold, and I get the gold medal. You can dish out some dough for me. Random encounter with him. This is one of the randomest places that I could see running into him. It just doesn't fit in the story. So he's there in a lot of ellipses. This isn't the end. I'm going to be the greatest Pokemon trainer ever because these guys are behind me. Alright, so don't worry about it now. We won't worry about it now, and this will be the end of the part. See you guys next time when we take on part 59.